Welcome to the first of a series of videos where we're going to talk about how we in school and you at home can help get your sons and daughters in the best possible position so they can learn as much as they possibly can. And of course, the more they learn, the better qualifications they're going to get. So today we're going to discuss a humanist approach and something that we use quite a lot in a lot of schools called Maslow. Okay, we'll go on to that in a moment. But in order for students to learn the best that they can, there's several factors that we need to consider. Okay, and as we said, there's lots of things that we can do in school, and there's lots of things that you guys can do at home as well. So just ensure that we give our students the best chance and the best start for every day to hit their optimal learning level. Okay, so let's go on and see what this Maslow's model looks a little bit like. Okay, so Maslow was a psychologist who a long time ago, I think this model, this revised version was done in 1970 something, 1980s, came up with what he called the hierarchy of needs. And this is the hierarchy of needs, as you can see here. And what he did is he looked at successful people and looked at what factors and what were all the factors that made them really, really, really successful. And he came up with this hierarchy of needs. And basically what he's saying is, down at the bottom here, we've got the physiological needs. And this is something that if we don't meet those physiological needs, then our bodies are hardwired to make sure that we meet those physiological needs first before we can move up to that cognitive need and that hopefully self-actualization and transcendence, which we all want to get to. What he's saying is it's not like you have to fill the whole of the bottom level before you can move up to the next level. He's saying that we dip in between them, but without meeting these basic needs down the bottom there, we struggle to move forward into that full-on cognitive need and self-actualization, which is where we need to be to hit our best ability, really. So let's just have a look at these two words on the side: growth needs and deficiency needs. So deficiency needs, this means the more you get, the less motivated you are to get more. Okay, I know it sounds like a double negative there. What we're saying here is, like, for example, let's take a physiological need. We're talking about food. So if we don't have food, we're really motivated to go and get food, and that then becomes like something that we need to go and get to keep ourselves alive. If we get food, then we're less motivated to go out and find more because we've just eaten and we're not hungry anymore. Does that make sense? Whereas the growth needs are, the more you get, you kind of get hooked. The more motivated you are to get more. So cognitive needs, once you've started learning something, you go, oh, hang on a minute, that felt good learning that. I want to learn some more. And as you get to the top of it, the transcendence, that again is, oh, once I've done that once, oh, I want to go and keep doing it more and more and more and more and more. It becomes like that's something that becomes an absolute passion. So let's look in a bit more detail at each of these structures. So the physiological needs are the basic things that everybody needs to stay alive. So we're talking about things like food and water, having shelter, having clothing, which of course in school means uniform, and sleep. Right? These are all really important things to help us move forward. And if we're missing any of these, that impairs our ability to then go up the next level and get to that cognitive thinking realm. Okay, now we've looked at what the physiological needs are. Let's look at the safety needs and what that means. So the safety needs are basically someone feeling that they're safe from harm and that they've got a freedom from fear, so they don't have to be scared or worried about anything going on. Okay, that they're also safe from the elements. And one of the things that really helps build that safety is that idea of order and predictability, so they know what's going to happen and when it's going to happen, and that they've got that stability going on in their lives as well. And these safety needs are really important, because if we don't have those safety needs, then what we do is our mind naturally goes to, I need to find the safety from somewhere, because if I'm not safe, I'm hypervigilant, I'm looking around trying to find where the danger is coming from. So these safety needs are really important for us to move on to enable our brains to think clearly and freely. The next stage in the model is this idea of belonging and love needs. So let's look at what that means a little bit. So belonging and love needs are the things like friendships and feeling like you belong somewhere, to a group, to a part of a group like a family or friends or a school. about receiving and giving affection, having some intimacy with people. And a really big one there, really important one, is the idea about trust. So these are the needs where you start to get the social element of it. So you feel like you're part of a community, you feel like you fit in, and you're included, and you're accepted for who you are, and you connect with other people. And this is a really important need, because if we don't have this need met, then we go out and we actively try and search for it. Okay, or we become very, very insular, and again, that stops us from hitting that top cognitive realm which we're looking for. Okay, so the last of our deficiency needs, the ones where if we don't have enough of them, we go out and try and find more of it, is that Maslow suggested was the esteem needs. So let's have a look at what that means. So esteem breaks down into two sections, really. So first you've got self-esteem, so about how you feel about yourself, so the dignity, the achievement, mastery and independence that you build within yourself. And then there's also the esteem you get from other people, so respect and reputation, your status within your group, and also the prestige that you get from achievements and things like that. So both of these elements form that esteem, and somebody's esteem level is really important, because what you find is that if people haven't met their self-esteem or their esteem from others, they actively go out and they crave esteem, and or they crave respect from others or reputation, or try and raise their status in not necessarily productive ways, and this of course can get in the way of our cognitive thinking as well. Okay, now we move on to the more positive elements of Maslow's model, the growth needs, where remember, if we once we start getting a little bit of it, we always want more. We're getting really motivated to get more of these. So let's look at what the cognitive needs mean. So this is the expression of our natural human need to go and learn and explore and discover and create things around us. Okay, to get a better understanding of the world that we see, and this is what the basic of where we need to be when we're learning in class. So we need all those deficiency needs met in order for us to be able to hit this as effectively as we can. Now, once we've started looking at these cognitive needs, the next one is this idea of aesthetic needs. Okay. Now, the aesthetic needs is the appreciation and the search for beauty, form, and balance. And this could be just appreciating what's around you, seeing what's around you, noticing how beautiful a picture is, art, drama, and things like that. And again, these aren't like we have to get the cognitive need, then we have to get this, then we have to get the next one. We dip in and out of all of these as we go through. But as we said, once you start to get a taste of it, you want more. You always, it builds, and it's like a growth need that you always kind of want more of it. And once we've gone through the aesthetic needs as well, then we hit these top two levels of where we really, really want to get this idea of self-actualization. Okay, this is now getting towards the top of our pyramid. Self-actualization, to become everything one is capable of becoming. Yeah, realizing your full potential, like self-fulfillment, and going, yeah, this is amazing. Being proactive and going out there and doing things off your own back just because you're interested in it, or you want to, or you think it's going to be better if you do that. Seeking personal growth and seeking peak experience. Now, as you can imagine, if we get to this point with all our students, they're going to absolutely fly. And this is where we would like to get to, working with students as we do in school. And of course, I'm sure that you would like your son and daughter to be able to get to this point in all of their lessons as well, in their learning. So, of course, at this point, this is where they start to really, really, really motor and make that amazing progress that we know that they all can make. Now, once we've gone through self-actualization, there is another step beyond this, which is called transcendence. Now, transcendence is a really difficult word to actually pinpoint what it means, because it means different things, and quite often it's got a religious bent to it. But what Maslow's actually talking about here is the idea that it's not just doing the best you can and fulfilling your potential. It's kind of getting lost in the task in the moment, and working on something just because you're interested in it, and taking it to a point where you're going, oh my God, I've just lost complete track of time. I don't know. I was just enjoying that so much, and I got so focused in on it and I produced something that's amazing that I didn't think was possible. It's kind of going beyond those normal limits and boundaries that we set on ourselves, and going, actually, I've produced something that's way more than I thought I ever could produce, and that's because I got completely lost in the moment. And that's something that if we can all get to that point, is brilliant. And we will flip between all these levels. It's not just like you've got to fill one boundary then the next boundary. We will flip between them as you go through your day, your year, and your lives going forward. So what's our next steps? So keep your eyes out for links to further videos as part of this series in the bulletin, where we'll break each of those sections down a little bit more and give actually some practical tips and helps and advice, and also explain to you a little bit about what we're doing in school for each of those elements as well. Okay, hope you enjoy that. Hope you found that useful, and I hope you tune in for the next one. Bye.